Kate Hand. I'm with Gardner Business Media. I have been at Gardner for 19 years and worn a lot of hats in that time, and currently I am our EVP of Operations. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Gardner and really just give you a show and tell of a new program that we rolled out just a week and a half ago to our customers, and it's been a long time coming. Tony saw it online a couple of weeks ago and was like, hey Kate, come talk about it. So normally I love to give presentations where I can give you like listicles. I really like a list, 5, 10 things that you can do, and this is not that. This is a show and tell, but I gave a presentation at Niche last year that was like the top 5 things that you can do to save your company in a post-AI world. And this is the number one thing, right? And that is really understanding your audience and then being able to show that understanding of your audience to your customers. So Gardner Business Media has been around for a whopping 96 years this year. Deep history there. We have 10 titles, 9 in print, and we started with our flagship Modern Machine Shop back in 1929. So we have a host of events and digital marketing programs, we do all the things. In 2020, this is my family, we were up against a difficult task at Gardner, not to mention, all the other things going on. Homeschooling was certainly not something on my bingo card that year. But we were looking at some really massive changes within Gardner and trying to think about, okay, what is the future of this media? What does this look like? What are we gonna be when we grow up, right? And that was really the birth of Grow and internally, and a lot of internal programs that we said, okay, we're really gonna step up and invest in our data. Well, how are we gonna do that? And sort of the beginning. So back in 2020, end of 2020, early 2021, we were in a place that probably a lot of you were too, right? Where we had really excellent data around our newsletters and magazines and webinars and events and websites and all those little blank bubbles that I put in there that represent all the other things that we're connecting to, right? And I can't tell you how many times we whiteboarded a version of this where they were all in this pretty wheel, and then at the center of the wheel there was here's where they're all gonna connect. But we were nowhere close to being able to actually do that. We just weren't. We were spinning our own wheels. So this is actually a slide that I presented to Gardner when we were working on our tech stack at that time. We said, okay, how do we sort of get our car out of this ditch that it's in where we're not really going anywhere with all of this data? Like Tony just said, if you're not making it actionable, then it doesn't matter how pretty those numbers are, right? So what we said is, here's where we are and here's where we need to be. We were doing a lot of manual queries. We were doing standardization manually, validation, deduping. We were cross-referencing our data manually. We were doing a lot of complicated auditing, and our dev time, instead of spending time doing things that were really gonna take us forward, they were just doing constant backwards maintenance. Why grow? So we've all heard that phrase, single source of truth, and for a long time at Gardner, it felt like the white whale, right? Like the center of that wheel. We're like, one day, we're gonna have this single source, and we're really gonna bring it all together in this meaningful way. We wanted our customer campaigns, our products and reporting all in one place, all talking to each other. We wanted it fast, we wanted it slick and easy to produce, and we wanted it security compliant, right? Meaning that data can drop in, drop out at the drop of a hat, and it's all changed across all platforms at one time. It felt like, honestly, a massive, massive undertaking at the time. So I'm gonna tell you just a little bit about that. So this was our plan, and this is what we eventually ended up doing, right? So we purchased Omeda, we partnered with Omeda in 2021, and our plan was to take all of these disparate data points and extract just the data that we need, right? So when I think about it, at one point my husband was in Amazon corporate, and you go to the warehouse and you have this giant warehouse, right, of all the things that you need. Well, then you take that and you put it in a store, and then you have just the things that you wanna look at, right? And so that's how I think of our data warehouses, right? So taking just the things that we really wanna need, which is what makes it really fast, right? Storing it in that data warehouse, and then displaying it in ways that we could visualize for ourselves and our customers. So this is a detailed plan that I can't really read on this screen with my new bifocals. this is the messy part, right? So in May of 2021, that was when we signed with Omeda. In August of 2021, that was when we said, okay, we need more than just the program, right? Like, we understand that this is bringing our data together. How do we actually start to mobilize that? So we commissioned Omeda to build us a dedicated data warehouse. That took a few months. By October of 2021, we were up and running with a warehouse. In August, we had made full use of that warehouse, so we launched Grow internally, right? So it's been 3 years since then, right? And we've been using it very actively as an internal platform for our salespeople, right? So we've got our reports, we've got known audience, customer campaign metrics, and then in that time, we've been perfecting, building on it, trying to really highly filter it, which sometimes feels like playing whack-a-mole, especially when you're dealing with all these different data points. But it's really something that we are using on the regular now. Everybody's comfortable with it. We were at a point now where we said, okay, we're ready to start showing this to our customers. So in May of 2025, so just this month, we're launching that to our customers. So I'm going to show you a little bit about Grow now and what that looks like. So here's the tech stack that it's built on. I think this is interesting, probably more later when you're looking over your notes from something like this. A few of these slides are just for that. It's just like, okay, what were they using? I will note that anything that has a sort of blue star on it means that we've developed it internally. So Gardner's sitting on its own content management system and website builder and AI sales assistant. Okay. Some wins that we've had since launching Grow, right? Reporting speed and efficiency is certainly one of them. That cross-channel and cross-brand known audience behavior, along with really putting it into action, the targeting and segmenting that our digital products team can do now is downright impressive. Deep editorial analytics dashboards, which, having a data-driven editorial room is something that we had sort of only dreamed of, and I think we're still on a slow path there because it's just hard, 100 years of history of writing the way that we always have and trying to progress that is something that we're still working on. Certainly data integrity is a big deal with Grow performance. And then just the leveled up go-to-market sophistication, right? Like we looked at what our sales team members were putting together before this and then after Grow, and certainly being able to go and get bigger fish because you have a much more sophisticated product to take to market has been a big benefit. Okay, these are a little hard to look at, which is why I'm going to show a live demo in a second here. But I just wanted to show you a couple of my favorite internal tools. So this is an audience data. This is just a big picture look at our audience data, and this is a screenshot from Grow Performance. This is part of the internal tool. So this has sort of replaced for us like BPA reporting tools, so you can see all that deep data insight right from these Grow dashboards now. Here's an audience query builder, which we consider sort of Omeda light, right? So Omeda's a big platform. It's not going to be user-friendly for your entire organization, nor should it be. But we made a query builder on top of the data warehouse that allows anybody in our company to go and see, okay, it's a nice hat trick. So like the one that I pulled up here is Boeing. So say we're, on a composite sales call and somebody says, I'd really like to get into Boeing. What kind of reach do you have there? It's really easy to go into the platform, say, okay, who do we have at specific plants? You can really drill down into that Omeda data, but again, sort of just picking and choosing the data that we want to serve up rather than the entire database so it's not bogged down. Editorial engagement dashboards. So we have a lot there that has been helpful for us in terms of figuring out what content to brand, what kind of content to go to market with custom content, trending topics, what ripe for republish reports, trying to see who's reading what and when, and where all those referrals are coming from. So that's something that our editors have deep access to now. You can see here, there's a little bit more about that, traffic and channels, by device, landing pages, and whatnot. So now I'm going to give you a quick tour of Grow Performance, which is our new company builder. So if you guys could switch me now to my laptop. Look at that worked, you guys. Okay. So this is a demo version of Performance, and I'm just going to take you on a very quick tour. So right now, this is what you would see if you were logging in as a customer, and the fake customer here is Modern Machine Shop, which is, our flagship brand. So as I come down, I can see my overall company activity. I can change the dates that those are covering. I can see my total impact and impressions and clicks, but then I can also see, I can sort of jump down to any one of these sections, and I can also hover over and understand where those numbers are coming from, right? So for us, this is a really big leap, because it says not only do we have all this important data, we are willing to sort of like open up everything to you because we have that much trust in its validity. So I can also see my campaigns here, so I can see what banners I've run and where and what their performance was. I can, as I keep scrolling, so at first the whole first part is like paid performance. As I get a little deeper, I can see impressions, clicks, click-through rate. We just added benchmarking, so that shows like how these ads are doing compared to other ads that are running similarly on the sites, which is helpful. It's been a little difficult to monitor with the bot activity kind of coming in and out. We want to make sure that we're constantly filtering for that, and actually Omeda's recent changes have really helped with that. You can see what the magazine audience reach is on any given month, as well as newsletter activity. I can also click through to the newsletter activity to see where my ad was on that page. And then I can also see my organic exposure, right? So what did it look like on the sites? And then I can go and see any articles that I was mentioned in as a company, and then where those articles were distributed across our sites, whether they were shared to a sister publications, put in print, published in an e-newsletter, published to social, or pushed out. And then I can also see LinkedIn, Facebook, directories, showroom visits. This is getting a little long, but you guys get the idea. So basically any activity that a customer has within our sites, we're now able to let them just like dig right into this. One of the things that's cool about this that is new is the known audience comprehensive report. So one of the things that we've dealt with at Gardner, and I'm sure that you guys are in the same boat, is that we don't want to be in the game of trying to produce millions of impressions. Like that's not who we're reaching, but we want to know exactly who we're reaching. And anytime I get nervous about, those click-through rates on our websites or web traffic that's starting to plummet with the advent of AI, all I have to do is click into these known audience reports and see who it is that we're really still reaching through all these different avenues. And you're like, okay, this is what's going to allow us to sleep at night, and this is what's going to allow us to move into the future. So I can go in as this sort of like fake Modern Machine Shop company right now, decide which brands I want to toggle into that report, and then view a known audience comprehensive report from that. So this is showing only the known audience that has interacted or viewed the ads from this particular advertiser. So now I can see what companies by state, by plant size, by job function, and then I can even click into the specific companies that have seen my ads or interacted with my content in a newsletter or a webinar, et cetera. Events, all of it. Industries, operations. So there's quite a bit there, and I'm sure that we'll continue to add into that, but that's been one that's been really popular with our sales team so far. One more thing that I want to show you is the printable impact report. So one of the things that we worked on early on in this was this impact report where we said, okay, we want sales to be able to have a really polished piece that they're taking that's grabbing real-time live data that they can then show to the companies that are looking at investing or already investing to understand what the value is. And so this pulls up a PDF that can then be pushed into a PowerPoint or attached to an email. And in this case, I think it's a really good show the boss report, right? So if you're a marketer and you're in this program through Grow Performance and you want to kind of show the boss the value of what you're doing, you can pull up this printable impact report here. And this is showing, their total impact of their buy with Modern Machine Shop, an overview of all of the things they've bought and how they're performing, and then a little bit on each one. And the nice thing is these numbers they're all live, they're all coming from the database, either daily or weekly, depending on which numbers they are. You can see a little bit about their editorial coverage. And the nice thing is too that on the sales end, as a user, I can go in and modify these reports however I want. So you can see how our newsletters, and then just sort of a glossary there. So that is Grow Performance. Do you mind switching me back to the PowerPoint? Thank you. Oh, you guys, that worked so well. I'm so relieved. I told my dev team, I was like, don't upload anything this morning. All right, so speaking of the dev team, I wanted to be able to tell you guys a little bit about how we did this. And the truth is that I'm a strategic operator and I don't really know. It feels like sorcery to me, and we have a really fantastic team that works on this. So I said, Brian, give me some data points on this and how I can tell this team about how exactly that we did this. So a little bit about the tech that is underlying Grow, so that if you guys are interested in taking this back to your team. So it's a .NET application. It's mostly built in C# with some JavaScript. It's sourced from a lot of different systems, but our data is all sitting in SQL. We had tried some other databases. We had tried Microsoft BI. We had sat on Yellowfin for quite a while, weren't super happy with it. So eventually we ended up just making it a SQL database that they can get in and really manipulate to their heart's desire. So our dev team is really happy with this stack. I included this more for the notes, not because I actually understand what this slide says. All right, so thank you. As one last note, we were here like 3 weeks ago for spring break. It was still freezing. But one thing we did do was go to the Slumu Institute, and it was super fun and really surprisingly sanitary. So if you're here with your kids this week, I highly recommend. Come talk to me today when we're here. I didn't really leave a lot of room for questions, but I'm so proud of this technology and happy to chat about it and excited to go to the aquarium with you guys tonight.